Going live. You're live! Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing God of War on the RTX 2060. How are you guys doing? Welcome! So, I'm back. After a few minutes, I tested the budget GPUs, now it's time for the 2060 to shine. So, here we go. Let's go to the settings. So, on this one, as you can see, there is a DLSS, so welcome back guys. It's been a while. Said no one ever. So, 2060 as you can see, 1080p, and there's DLSS, so wonderful. So you either use DLSS or Fidelity FX Super Resolution. I'll say DLSS is the way to go, although the highest quality DLSS on 1080p is 720p. It's going to be interesting to check the differences. Yeah. Hey guys. Good to know, good to know. So let's do it without DLSS first. We're doing, hang on. I have a message. Alright, so as I was saying, we're going to check out the highest settings just to mess around a little. So Ultra Plus, we're the ultra of the ultra settings. And sorry, my phone is ringing. Okay. When did you get the 2060? A few days ago. I had to sell a few GPUs, but I mean, work and all that made it possible. So Ultra, let's call it Ultra Plus because it's Ultra Plus. So let's go. And let's get into the game, shall we? Let's go back to that boss fight against... Oh, where's the boss fight? There you are. Maor, or whatever it's called. Remember that Ultra Plus settings is a complete waste of resources, at least in my opinion. So, okay, we're getting 50 frames. 45, sorry. Okay. Remember that this is the absolute highest settings. Yeah, I'm going to do 1440p and 4K. But remember, this is the highest settings. A complete waste of resources, in my opinion. You can lower the settings a bit, and you get drastically better frame rates. So this is just to show you what's possible. So yeah, as you can see... Muchas gracias. Se agradece. What do you do for a living? I now have an IT job. I cannot say much about it because NDA. But yeah, I got a job at TCS. So, try this. Try everything on high. So, everything on high. Plus original textures. And that should do. Let's see what happens. ¿Es compatible con mando de Xbox? Sí. Ya lo intenté y aparecen botones de Xbox. For the people wondering, yeah, you can plug in an Xbox controller and it'll show Xbox prompts. Mind blown, right? So if you put it on high instead of ultra, well, you get over 70 frames, no problem. So just put it on high with the textures on original. And it'll be okay. Visually, they're almost the same as ultra textures. So yeah. Which the FPS is going to be way higher. Yeah, well, as you can see, it's double the frame rate now. So don't waste your time on ultra, at least in my opinion. Just go for high. Keep it on high. Do yourself a favor. And this is native 1080p, no upscaling being used right now. What I want to check out though is DLSS. DLSS is going to be interesting on this one. Is there much of a difference between high and ultra? Not really. I mean, ultra has way better reflections, and by way better I mean a higher resolution reflection in the screen space reflection department. But does it justify having half the frame rate? I don't think so. Personal preference, of course. So let's jump directly into 1440p. 1080p is a walk in the park for this one. So let's go 1440p. So again, ultra, at least in this game, in my opinion, is a waste of time. So let's do 1440p. And let's go for ultra again. Then we're doing DLSS and all that. So ultra plus, why not? So, whoa. So ultra plus and ultra. Let's go. Okay, so 1440p, ultra plus. And as you can see, at 1440p Ultra Plus, you still get over 30 frames. So, yeah, I mean, it's okay, considering how demanding Ultra settings is. Again, just don't waste your time on Ultra. Just do yourself a favor and put it on high. But it's pretty powerful. We're not using any upscaling technique. We're doing native res, so pretty impressive in my opinion. After playing it on budget GPUs, this blows my mind. So we lower it to high. Again, don't waste your time on Ultra. Yeah, textures aren't original because on high and Ultra textures look a little bit better and they affect performance. So again, kind of a waste of time as well. So keep that in mind. So textures on original, they look the same. But we get a small performance boost. So high settings, 1440p, let's see. Surprise, surprise, we get 50 to 60. I think we can improve this significantly by lowering the draw distance to original, but still, we have a lot of room to spare. And again, remember that there is a good amount of effects on screen right now. Oh yeah. Okay, let's die, just to repeat this part. Yes, but you tested Ultra Plus, textures wasn't original. Okay, that's a good point. But don't worry, still over 30. Trust me on that one. Let's do a checkpoint. Okay. So as you can see, it's 60-ish. It's going to drop when stuff happens. So if you want to fix that, it's pretty simple. Just go into the graphics, lower the models from high to original, and you're good to go. So models on original. And that should do the job. That should give you basically 60 all the time. Yeah, the GPU runs hot, but well, it's a very hot climate at the moment. And as you can see, this helps quite a bit. So put everything on high, models on original, textures on original. At 1440p you get 60 frames, so yeah. And remember that this is a boss fight, there's more effects on screen, so it's expected for it to run worse in these parts than other parts. Yeah, the GPU is fine. 77 degrees, I saw worse, trust me. I mean, the core clock is fine, it stays at over 1800 MHz, so pretty normal. Does original mean medium? Yes. Although in this case they put original because that's the PS4 setting, I think. So that's pretty interesting. Still, the game looks incredible, even on original. And this is 1440p, guys. This is not 1080p, this is 1440p. So I think it's a fair game to try 4K now. So let's go to the desktop and put it on 4K. So 4K now. We're going to be pretty idiots. And we're going to do Ultra Plus. Now let's just do Ultra, not Ultra Plus. We do Ultra at 4K now because we can. We are free people, free GPU persons. So we go for. I'm also cranking up those textures because you guys requested it. So this is as high as it goes, except in the reflections. 8K? Well, maybe we try 8K at the end, just to fool around a little. Anyway, so 4K Ultra. Okay, yeah. Well, that's pretty impressive actually. It's over 20 FPS on Ultra at 4K. I was expecting it to be like 10 frames, considering the VRAM usage. But yeah, pretty stupid to do Ultra considering, well, on Ultra it runs at 40 frames on 1080p, so mind blown. Anyway, let's do high settings and let's see what happens. So textures on original, everything else on high. So 4K high plus original, textures on original. And let's see. Hey meme killer, long time no see. Yeah, after this we're doing 8K. After we do the DLSS and all that good stuff, yeah, we're doing 8K. So as you can see, 4K high is 30 frames per second. So yeah, you're good. So if you want 4K on high settings, you can do it pretty well, actually. And I don't know, for me at least, on a 2060 6GB, the most basic 2060 that you can find, this is not any of those special editions. No, still didn't try DLSS, we're doing that after this. I wanted to show you raw numbers first, so as you can see, 1080p on high was over 60 all the time, 1440p on high with original model quality was over 60 all the time, and 4K with high you get over 30 all the time. I still didn't try DLSS. DLSS basically will be 1080p upscale to 4K, and we're doing that after this. I need to finish this boss fight. Give me 1 sec. Before that though, let me go to the graphics. We're going to keep it the same, but we're going to enable DLSS on quality mode, which should be okay. It's 1440p. So plus DLSS quality. So 1 sec. DLSS quality, which in this case is 1440p because we're in a 4K resolution. So quality DLSS 4K, the render resolution with DLSS on quality is 1440p, and the rest is everything on high basically. I probably need to lower the models a little to get 60 frames, but yeah. Okay. Oh, never mind. We're into the 40s. So I might need to use original settings for that. But as you can see, with DLSS we get a 15 FPS boost, but we also lowered the resolution. And this looks way better than 1440p native. Without a doubt, yeah. Yeah, it looks so much sharper. Yeah, what the hell? How did they make this look better than native 1440p? What the hell? Yeah, we're going to need to do some side-by-sides. Let's be crazy here. Let's do balance. No, let's do performance DLSS. DLSS performance. That is 1080p upscale to 4K. That's what I'm interested in. So 1080p with DLSS performance. Let's see how that looks. Oh. Okay, I'm seeing some artifacting in the trees, but it looks pretty good. Definitely better than native 1080p, without a doubt. Huh. Okay, he's dropping some frames. I wonder what he's doing in the background. Okay, I'm going to spam the axe just to be able to get out of this fight. And I can show you DLSS comparisons. That's what you're here for. The grass appears to have some artifacting as well. Let me check. I'm not seeing that. Looks pretty normal to me so far. But again, I'm here because of the effects that this boss fight produces. This game can run on Ryzen 5700G. Awesome. Boy. Shut up, boy. Okay, parenting done right. Put your son at risk. I like that. Reminds me of my childhood. Man, can't wait to upgrade my GPU like 2-3 years, yeah. Can't wait 3 years to upgrade my 1050, my 750 Ti to a 2060 2GB. That doesn't exist. Stay silent, boy! There we go. Let's get him. I have zero interest in ray tracing, but DLSS I guess is good. Yeah, it is. It's better than I initially anticipated.
That's where you get!
Boy.
Think I'm afraid of you!
Okay, that's enough.
You're nothing to me!
Boy.
Yeah, it looks nice, actually.
Look at me, boy.
Look at me, boy!
Look at me.
What I need to do now is record some footage to compare 4K versus... Oh man, this is going to be a lot. I'm going to do native 4K, then performance 4K, then quality 4K, and then, yeah, no, I don't know what I'm going to do. We'll see, there's a lot. Is it possible to play with Xbox controller? Yes, and there's Xbox prompts, which is kinda insane, seeing Xbox prompts in a God of War game. But yeah, it is. Even if you plug in a PS4 controller, it'll show up with PlayStation 4 prompts, so they got you covered.
I can do this.
Oh yeah, 8K. Hang on, before that, let's compare DLSS versus native resolution. Boy, PC edition. I just finished Shadow of the Tomb Raider with DLSS and no RTX. I don't think it gives a huge difference. Okay, you mean RTX? Okay, yeah, I'm noticing some... Yeah, look at this tree. This tree does have some over sharpening issues there. Yeah, I see the limitations there. When I move the camera. Anyway, so we have a lot of stuff here. This is good. This is a good place to compare. So let's do this. Let's put it on high. Okay, first, let's turn off the DLSS altogether. So this is native 4K on high settings. Let me record this first, one sec. 4K recording, capture 4K. Hopefully my stream doesn't lag for doing this. Please don't die live stream. What am I looking for? Oh yeah. MP4, good. Hopefully the stream doesn't die for this. So this is first 4K. I'll give it 10 seconds. Okay, that's perfect. Now we do... I'll do DLSS performance. Oh, there's also ultra performance that is 720p. I'm not going to bother with that one, not yet. It's DLSS 2.0, by the way. Okay, so now 4K with DLSS performance that is 1080p, which is super interesting. This is the one that interests me the most, actually. Okay, I stopped the recording. Now on quality, balance is 1254p. We're going for quality. This is the highest option on the DLSS. So we record another 10 seconds. Genial, Elfo Negro. Todo bien. Sí, yo creo que sí, Marcos. Okay, 10 seconds in. And now we're going to do something different. We're going to do 1080p now. So we disable all the DLSS goodness. And we go back to good old 1080p. So, one sec. Okay. So we're now on 1080. Okay, now we're on 1080p. As you can see, a massive boost in performance, obviously. And I record another 6-7 seconds to do the comparisons. And we'll see the differences. Okay. So I got all the footage that I needed. Absolutely perfect. No full screen option, unfortunately not. Apparently there's no such thing. Kind of a shame, honestly. Anyway. Okay, 540p and DLSS looks amazing. Okay, I'm going to give it a shot. Before that though, let me do the entire comparison. I want to do this right. Let me see the performance. Alright, so it's the other way around. Gotcha. I need to label this so you guys understand what's going on. So this is native 1080. Then this is DLSS quality, which is 1440p. So the one right here is 1440p with DLSS. Then we copy this. Whoa. This is so difficult. Never mind. This is DLSS performance. Yeah, DLSS performance. This is 1080p. And the one at the right is native 4K. So we copy this, we paste it. And we put native 4K. I know it's kind of all messed up, but don't worry, I gotcha. So can you guys see my screen? I'm guessing so. Okay. So let me double check. Okay. So as you can see, native 1080p is 81 frames. Then DLSS quality is 47. Then DLSS performance is 60 and 4K is 33. So there is 20 frames less on DLSS performance and it should be the same resolution, but let's take a look at the image quality. I mean, look at that. Look at the DLSS performance mode. It looks incredible. What the hell? It looks so close. Let's put play. Everything moving should make a difference. Yeah. I mean, look at the difference between DLSS 1080p to 4K and native 1080p. That's insane, guys. What the hell? How did they do that? I'm blown away. How the hell? I'm confused. How did they do this? For real. I mean, it looks like 4K to me. What the heck? Yeah, even the tree looks better. I'm so confused. It looks incredible with DLSS. What the hell? I'm blown away. I cannot believe this. Even with the vegetation moving around. Wow. Every game needs this technology. I mean, look at Kratos' arm. It's so clear. On 1080p you cannot even see the pores with the highlights on the skin. That's only visible in the DLSS images. Yeah, mind blown. Great job. Holy hell. Although, yeah, it runs worse than native 1080p. It's 20 frames behind. But that image quality, man, it's so much better. Kinda crazy. Yeah. Let's try this same thing, but on 1080p. So we got native 1080. Let's do native 1080 and upscale from, from 1080p down to 540p. That will be interesting. Thanks for the idea, guys. I appreciate that. So give me 1 sec. We're going to record this. So yeah, DLSS, man, it looks incredible. It looks way better than I expected. After playing around with FSR, I mean, there's no competition. But of course, for DLSS, you need dedicated hardware, so that's kind of the big F for me. You need an RTX card to pull this off. So let's do 540p. Oh man, I'm loving this. Okay, try high textures? No, don't. I'm not going to play with textures for now. So now we're at 540p. Give it a few seconds. All right. Now we do something else. Oops, my bad. Now we do quality. That is 720p basically. So let's do 720. Okay, so performance on 1080p is 540p and quality DLSS at 1080p is 720p. So let's see what happens. This is the most interesting one because it has way less pixels to play with. Alright, I got all the footage that I needed. Let's try that again. Here we go. Only 3 weeks left for Dying Light 2. Super excited for that one. Man, I love the first one. Okay, so. Okay, the one on the right is 1080p, the one in the middle is 540p, and the one on the left is 720p. Okay, let me label that correctly for you guys. So this is native 1080p at the right, DLSS performance in the middle, 540p in this case, and DLSS quality at the left, that is 720p. I cannot believe that's an option, but hey, let's play around now that we're here. So 540p versus native 1080p versus 720p. Let's see what happens. Moment of truth. As you can see, you get a 15 FPS boost. Okay, we click play. Okay, I can see some blockiness on 540p, but I need to zoom in pretty close. But I'm more impressed about the 720p image. But they look so similar. What the hell? How did they do this? Even the beard. How does 540p look like this? Even the moving vegetation of the particles. I mean, why play this at 1080p? I can play it at 720 just fine, guys. Honestly, just put DLSS performance and DLSS quality on 1080p, and even detail into the distance is more stable. I'm so confused. Am I doing something wrong? This blows my mind, guys. What the hell? That's insane. I have an RTX card, but for some reason the game says I can't use DLSS. Try the latest drivers. Delete the previous ones, install the newest ones. I have a tutorial on that. Yeah, 540p I can see the blurriness. At 720p a little bit of blurriness, but honestly, the image is so stable at 720p that I would honestly just play at 720. That's insane. Mind blown. Yeah, guys. No wonder people like using DLSS. It works fantastically well when implemented correctly. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do... let me try 1080p with DLSS performance. No, wait. Yeah, 1080p. DLSS performance, which is 720p, but it looks incredible. I'm mind blown. And let's try and get 144. So original settings. But man, I wish, yeah, I agree with you guys. I wish every PC port was like this. So I'm going to keep it on quality DLSS, which means it's not DLSS performance, it's DLSS quality. Although 144 in this game, at least for me, is kind of irrelevant, but I'm doing it for scientific purposes. Original, everything original. And let's see if we get 144. Yeah, no. We're CPU limited now. Oh, never mind. We're GPU bound still. Okay, you can do 100 FPS. That's okay. I don't mind. So you can use PS4 settings and play at 100 FPS with DLSS. Yeah, unfortunately, only borderless is an option, but we are CPU limited right now. As you can see, the GPU is not maxed out, so yeah, that's probably a limitation of the X11. But it looks incredible at 720p. I cannot believe I'm saying this. I mean, this is 1080p, 720p upscaled to 1080p. I'm blown away. Is NVIDIA Reflex on? No, it's not. It's disabled. I'll put it on just for you guys' pleasure. That sounded weird, but trust me, it's something good. Okay. So yeah, you can do pretty good stuff, but in some parts, like here, you're going to get drops below 100 FPS. But I mean, if you don't mind using DLSS at 1080p, you can get good visual quality still. Yeah, I wish FSR looked like that, but unfortunately FSR, I mean, FSR is not the same thing. FSR doesn't require any specific hardware to work, so yeah. Okay, I can do ultra settings. Let's do ultra plus. Let's do the absolute highest. Let's be stupidly demanding for some reason. And let's crank up those textures as well. Why not? Alright. Okay. So this is the highest settings, the absolute highest, but we're using DLSS quality on 1080p. And as you can see, we are basically over 60. Yeah, there we are. Let me reload. Oh yeah, let's fight the stranger. That's going to be interesting. DLSS or FSR? DLSS, but DLSS requires hardware that can to work. Specific hardware. So it shouldn't compete. Okay, as you can see here, this is way more demanding. So we're getting 40s because there's a lot going on. I guess. Okay, let me lower those from Ultra Plus to Ultra. Maybe that helps. Let's find out. Well, that's pretty crazy different. Okay, yeah, this part is super demanding, I guess. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more going on. Oh, never mind, it's back into the 60s. What the hell? I'm lost. Okay. Don't play on Ultra, guys. As you can see, weirdness like this happens when you play on Ultra. So, yeah, no. Ultra's just such a waste of time in this game. Let's try it on high. There we go. That's a lot better. Although we seem to be CPU bound, as you can see. This is high settings, by the way. I mean, despite using a pretty low resolution, when I'm looking this way and I get 60 frames, my GPU is not maxed out, so there is a CPU limitation somewhere. But if I look this way, I get 90 frames, so... So yeah, this part is kind of weird. So 60 frames is easy to get. The thing is, when you're trying to get that 100 FPS experience, well, good luck. So let me disable DLSS super quick. Let's try native resolution. 2K. 2K, you mean 1440p? I know it's not the same, but... Just asking. Okay, so native 1080p, I'm getting 60s, yeah. So it maxes out the GPU when I'm on 1080p. So as you can see, without DLSS, I'm getting, in this part at least, that we are CPU limited, almost the same numbers, but it's not fully using the GPU. That's why we're getting almost the same performance. So yeah, 60 frames is easy, 100 FPS is very difficult. At least we seem to be CPU limited, I'm guessing. Or maybe we are engine limited in some capacity, I don't know. How much an i7 4790K with bottleneck should be okay for 60 frames. Doesn't seem to be super CPU heavy. At least not when playing at 60 frames. But this part seems to be pretty demanding, yeah. For some reason, on the CPU. Kinda odd. So yeah. Yeah, I'm sure there's something to do with the engine. Because in the previous parts that wasn't happening. So let's do what you guys wanted. I'm going to do 8K. So be ready. We're going for the holy grail of resolutions. And we have the DLSS to check it out, so let's just enable DSR on the video control panel. And we're going to do 8K. So DSR. Oh yeah, I forgot that there was... Oh yeah, I forgot that this existed. The new DLDSR. I'm not using the new one, I'm using the legacy one because I want to try native 8K. Let's see what happens. 8K is for the 3090 only, yeah. 8K uses a lot of VRAM, I know. But I like doing science, so let's do science together. 8K. The moment of truth. And thank you so much, Duncan, for the €2 donation. He says, cool! Thanks, man. I appreciate it a lot. Thanks for the super chat. Hope you're doing well. So, before doing 8K, we're going to lower everything to the lowest. So, usually at 8K, the limitation is the video memory. We have only 6 gigabytes, so that's why the 3090 is recommended for 8K, because it has 24 gigabytes of VRAM. Leono, tengo un tutorial de cómo borrar los drivers, búscalo. Ahí explico todo. So guys, before doing that, again, since usually the limitation is VRAM on such a high resolution, we're going to disable everything to the lowest. So we have a lot of VRAM to spare. We should, but we are not going to, so... Okay. So... Oh man, my computer is going to catch fire. Take a deep breath. Go up to 7680 by 4320. Holy hell. That's a huge resolution. And we put it at 100% scaling. Boom! Hang on, my cursor is super tiny. That's what she said. Okay. Oh my god. What have I done? Okay. Yeah, it's using all the VRAM. As you can see, I'm getting 2 FPS. 3 FPS. Okay, I'm doing more. So as you can see, it uses a titanic amount of VRAM. Yeah, that's what she said. So you can probably not see it because it's very tiny. That's what she said. But I'm getting... Yeah, I could draw the frames by hand and it would be faster. So yeah, let's get into it. As you can see, we're pretty laggy right now, but the resolution is the correct one. But the VRAM is the issue. We're using so much VRAM that the computer says, okay, how much VRAM do we have? Oh, okay, let's grab from the RAM. We don't have enough. So let's try ultra quality DLSS, ultra performance DLSS, which is made to make 8K playable, I'm guessing. So let's go down to the DLSS part very slowly and do ultra performance. Let's cheat like Nvidia does. Okay, ultra performance. That would be 1440p. Ha! That's cheating! Okay, that worked fantastically well. So DLSS ultra performance 1440p. That's so funny. Nvidia advertises 8K like, oh yeah, the 3090 can do 8K, and they advertise ultra performance DLSS. And you're doing a very small fraction, but you're upscaling up to 8K, so that's kinda true, but not really 8K. So let's continue. I don't see my cursor, one sec. Oh, my cursor is so small. That's what she said. There we go. So yeah, you can do 8K if you use DLSS Ultra Performance, but other than that, stay away. Although this makes me wonder, how does a 3090 do 8K in this game? That would be interesting to see. 24 GB of VRAM, I mean, should be possible. Okay. Not bad at all, actually. Could be worse. So remember that this is not native 8K, we're upscaling from 1440p with DLSS up to 8K. It looks incredible, it looks super sharp. I'm on a 4K screen after all. But yeah, don't bother. But it's a nice experiment. Let's do native 8K. Let's see if we can unpause the game if I use native 8K. So here we go. Okay, no DLSS. Let's go back to 8K. Oh my, what am I doing with my life? Imagine it running on a native 8K screen. Yeah, you wouldn't see any pixels. You would just see 2 frames a second. Here we go, come on. You can do this, 2060. There we go. Oh my. Okay, unpause. Let's try beat the stranger like this. At 1 frame per second. You got this, 2060. You got this. Come on, 2060. It's using 14 GB of RAM. Yeah, seconds per frame. I'm slowly going to kill him. Very slowly. You won't even notice. Yeah, you can see each new frame presenting itself. It takes 1000 milliseconds. More than 1000 milliseconds. So it takes more than a second to render a frame. But, I mean, the resolution is so high. I mean, look at this. Look at the Kratos' axe. It's so perfectly defined now. It's kind of insane. So yeah. Yeah, it's the same, trust me. If I'm doing this like this with DSR, it's the same as a native 8K screen. The amount of pixels is the same. Yeah, it's upscaling to, it's downsampling to a 4K display, but it's still native 8K. So that's why you see such a 1 frame per second thing going on. But it looks super sharp, yeah. Yeah, this is how it would run on the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, exactly. You got it right. But it's so funny that we can actually do this. I loved having a PC. But let's do DLSS so we can actually play the game. I mean, it looks super sharp, but nothing like the good old DLSS. It also takes forever to move into the menus. Come on, you got this. Okay. Ultra performance. So ultra performance is 1440p. Then performance is 4K. Okay. Quality would be... Oh, there is balance and quality. Yeah, no. Let's stay on ultra performance. The one that makes the game playable. What graphic settings? Oh, lowest settings. Lowest settings. Good point. This is the lowest settings, so ultra performance. So 1440p. So yeah, this is how they make 8K playable on a 3090. But as you can see, it's 29 frames, 30 frames, whatever. But it's on low settings, so why bother? So yeah, like this you can actually play the game. Should you play like this? I don't think so. It looks super sharp, don't get me wrong. This is 1440p upscaled to 8K. Looks better than 4K, I would say. But still, I don't think it's worth worth doing. I mean, considering that you can do so many things on 1080p, 1440p, and even 4K, why bother? Yeah, well, this is probably the reason why there is a 2060 12 gigabytes coming. Because, well, on a 2060 12 gigabytes, I might be able to do native 8K actually. But even using DLSS, we still get those drops. Although, man, it looks so sharp. It's crazy. Yeah, it looks better than 4K. Yeah. But I mean, it works. It's actually upscaling from 1440p to 8K. Mind blown. Same augmented realism. So how would I play the game personally? Well, I'm so glad you asked. I wouldn't play it at 8K. Probably 16K, but no, I'm kidding. I would probably do 1440p or... Yeah, 1440p. On this card, 1440p with DLSS. I mean, it looks so good with DLSS on. It's kind of insane. So my best settings would be something like this. So we do 1440p with quality DLSS, which would be like 960p. I know it sounds like a low number, but trust me, it looks incredible, even on a low resolution. 960p. So DLSS quality. I don't know how the heck they make this look so good. So 1440p high settings. So we keep it on high. And we use DLSS quality that is 960p. But DLSS, I don't know, it looks so good. It doesn't make sense. It blows my mind, really. So we go here, we put everything on high. And let's see if we can get good numbers. I'm guessing so. Okay, much better. 70 frames. So let's do a quick let's do a quick image comparison just to show you guys what I mean. So I'm going to record this like you see right now. This is again 1440p with DLSS on quality, so the highest quality DLSS that you can get, which is internally is 960p, which sounds dreadful, but it's not. Trust me on this one. It looks better than you expect. So now I disable DLSS. So we do native 1440p. And we start recording again. And as you can see now, we're below 60. So it's a pretty massive performance difference. Makes sense, it's a lower resolution. 4K gaming screen garbage, bro. It's enough 1080p. Yeah, I know, but I do testing, so I don't have the same use cases as you guys. You need to understand that. It would be difficult to do comparisons looking at a 1080p screen. I need more pixels. Okay. Here we go. You should be able to see my screen now. Alright, so the one on the right is DLSS. So let me change something super quick. Copy and paste as a duplicate. So this is DLSS quality, which in this case, since we are on a 1440p resolution, is 960p. And then at the left, sorry, we got native 1440p. So give me one sec to 1440p native. And let's zoom in and see what happens. I think you accidentally turned off the DLSS. No, I didn't. I turned it off for the comparisons. It wasn't an accident. Don't worry, there are no accidents. So let's zoom in. We play the video because it has to be a moving image. And as you can see, the performance difference quite significant from 54 to 70, so we get 16 frames more. And look at this, what the hell? It's such a stable image with the DLSS. I'm so confused. Although I can see that 1440p is more defined in Kratos' armor. Yeah, I can see that. I can notice the difference, but the grass itself is fine. Let's into distance. Yeah, but I mean, it still looks good. I have to zoom in so much to see the difference. Yeah. I mean, I can see this in Kratos' armor, but I'm not looking at Kratos' armor like this, at 300% zoom. I don't know, what do you guys think? Would you use DLSS in this case, or you wouldn't? I'm personally pretty impressed, especially with the blades of grass and the trees. I mean, it looks almost the same. I would say in sometimes it adds extra stuff, like the edges here. They are missing. Here they are corrected. I don't know. Even the particles. What do you guys think? Oh yeah, let's do a poll. You're right. Let's do a poll. Native 1440p or quality DLSS 1440p, which is 960p. DLSS or native 1440p. On God of War, of course. But it's funny because DLSS is a lower resolution, so it should look a lot worse, but it looks, in some parts it looks better. So that's kind of crazy. So anyway, let's remove this too. There we go. So while you guys discuss that poll I made, again, best settings in my opinion, 1440p, quality DLSS, which drops the game to 960p, but it's pretty good visually with DLSS. And then on the graphics, everything on high. And you get 60 frames, looks better than 1080p. Ultra settings is a waste of time in this game, again. You get drops in performance below 60. And you get a very good image quality. This looks way better than native 1080p. Snow looks worse with DLSS from what the Foundry showed. Okay, when you look at the snowy floor. Okay, gotcha. Thanks for the heads up, it's appreciated. Okay, so I can make two distinctive settings. So if you want a DLSS setting that is higher than 1080p, visually speaking, you can do this. 1440p, high settings, DLSS quality, and you get 70 frames, 60 frames almost all the time. And I'm going to show you a native 1440p configuration to get 60 frames, which is 1440p native, like you see right here. And on the graphics, we lowered the model quality to original, and that should do the job. So that's all you do. So 1440p, high settings, original, textures, and model on original. And that's it. That should give us 60 frames at 1440p. That's DLSS at sharpening. It lowers the resolution and it upscales your native. But at the same time, it also... Hang on. Let me reload this. Yeah, no, still not 60. sec. The shadows as well. Okay, that didn't work. That's weird. I was getting 60s before this. Maybe I need to restart. They made a lot of changes in settings. Anyway. Textures, shadows, and model on original. And let's see what happens. Let me restart the game super quick. We get out of it. But if we want to play the best way possible, I would say high settings on either 1080p or 1440p. Ultra settings is fine. It looks better, technically speaking, but I think it's a waste of resources. 1440p DLSS, okay, that's interesting. I wasn't expecting that. 126 votes. That's kind of crazy. I wasn't expecting those results, honestly. I was expecting native. Quality DLSS looks better at 4K. Yeah, of course, it's a higher resolution. Makes complete sense. The 1050 Ti can't run textures on high. No, it can't. It's not a good idea, better said. Original looks basically the same and uses like 2 gigs less VRAM. So yeah, don't bother over original textures unless you have tons of VRAM. In that case, go get it, Tiger, I guess. Okay. Okay, yeah, kinda 60, 50 to 60 with these settings if you don't want DLSS. But again, if you have DLSS and you like how it looks, just go for DLSS at 1440p. In this case, again, I'm on native 1440p. I just lowered textures, shadows, and model quality to original, the rest on high. Yeah, they're staring because I'm not using VSync, don't worry. It's normal. So yeah, that's another option that you have. And then if you don't mind, if you don't mind 30 frames per second, you can do 4K. So, resolution. I almost put it on 8K again, my bad. So if you don't care about frame rates, you can play it at 4K, like this. So 4K, high settings, textures, shadows, and models on original. Let me reload this checkpoint. Oh, my bad. There we go. Then, if you want 30 frames per second, you're playing with a controller maybe, and you want native 4K, that's also an option. Just make sure, oh man, after playing at 60, this looks dreadful. Oh god. But as you can see, 4K at 30 is doable on high settings. Just keep textures and shadows on original and models, and you're good to go. Pretty powerful. Is the game on an SSD? Yes, it's on an NVMe drive. I need to launch games quicker because I'm live streaming. Waiting is not an option. So yeah. Also, if you want to use higher settings, you can also put the game on high, like this. So on high, it'll still stay into the 30s, but it can drop. So my advice in that case is to probably use DLSS on quality, which is, again, 1440p. Back full circle. So this is 4K high. Plus DLSS quality, which is 1440p. But again, in this case, you're not getting 60 frames, you're getting over 30. If you want 60s like this, you need to use performance DLSS. That in that case is 1080p. So yeah, it looks much better than 1440p. But it's time to do, like you guys are requesting, performance, which is 1080p. So DLSS performance, that in my opinion, looks great at 4K, despite being a 1080p image. So the more pixels that you feed it, the better. But in this case, okay, let me do a quick tweak. Let me put the models. And thank you so much, Chris, to give it the job. How are you doing, man? for the 10 BGN donation. He says, "Oi, oi, keep up the good work." Thank you, man. Thanks to Christo. If you haven't watched Christo Kamizjov's channel, he does a lot of GPUs like me, but he does even more. He also tests integrated graphics, the Vega 8s, the Vega 11s. So I highly recommend that you check him out. Thank you so much. I appreciate a lot the donation. And again, guys, if you haven't already, go check his channel out. Great content. Similar to mine, but he doesn't speak in the videos. So if you don't like people speaking, also, you can watch his channel. A lot of content on even integrated graphics, so good stuff. You should follow him. So as I was saying, models, shadows, an original. An ambitious crossover, yeah. Although Chris Kamizjov needs to start speaking, man. I want to hear that voice. I want to see if he's a Viking or if he's an Atreus. Okay. Shadows, textures, and models on original. Let's see. Yeah, we're doing this. Okay. So this settings, then 4K, performance DLSS, and this should give us 60s. Yep, 60 frames. Well, you know what? Okay, I can see the pop in. That's kind of dreadful, actually. Not sure if it's a bug. Let me check super quick. Not sure if you guys can see that, but there is a very interesting pop in. If you see in the middle of the screen when I move, there's pop in. Let me see if I can fix that with model quality changes. Oh yeah, that fixes the issue. Yeah, definitely. Okay, we're going to keep the models on high then. Yeah, on a high resolution is pretty obvious. But you need to... I mean, it was so far away. I could see it on 1080p. I would have missed that, actually. That's insane. Okay. Original is better than high? No, original is worse than high. You know what, guys? I would play it like this. Looks way sharper than 1080p. Way sharper. It's super clear. I would say it even compares against native 1440p. I can see even Kratos's pores. DLSS or FSR? Which one is better? DLSS, obviously, but the thing is, DLSS requires specific hardware to work, which in this case we have a 2060, so it's fine. You need an RTX card. But if you don't have an RTX card, you use FSR, and that's about it. And DLSS needs to be implemented manually by the developers, which it's an extra cost, and it doesn't work on every game, so... Yeah, of course DLSS is better, but it should be better. What? It might as well be better because it requires specific hardware to work, so... If it isn't better, it will be an issue. I know there's games that they won't let you turn on both at the same time. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense to turn on both at the same time. Oh yeah, this one is immune. So you have chosen death. Yeah, this looks amazing. Although, of course, native 1080p runs better than this, but this looks, I would say again, I'll compare it against native 1440p. Although the tearing, my god, my eyes. Hang on. The tearing is too much. Too much tearing. And what else? There we go. Okay, not so bad. Yeah, although I might need to lower something else. Okay, yeah, not so bad, actually. I'll lock it to 30, what happens? That happens, let's lock it to 60. There we go. So, no, no tiene fuego, amigo. 60 FPS cap, Riva tuner, plus VSync. And let's restart the game, and very quick. So, my best settings are pretty long. You can maybe read them. So, Let me get out of the game and I'll show you. So first of all, my advice, if you can do it, remember that this game forces on you borderless full screen. So if you're using a 1080p screen or a 1440p screen, you can actually force 4K. So put 4K on your desktop resolution, everything will look tiny. That's what she said. Then launch the game. So the game will launch at native 4K in that moment. Yeah, a lot of text. I know. Sorry. I know what to do. I'll do this. I'll put this together. Shadows plus textures, original, unoriginal. And that should do. There we go. We make it way tinier. That should be better. So as I was saying, this it put the game at 4K. Then you can use the display settings and put the DLSS on performance mode. This will put your game at 1080p actually, but upscale to 4K with deep learning super sampling. Then you put basically everything on high with shadows and textures on original. But I might keep everything on original, maybe. I don't know. We'll see later. And that should be the best settings. Although I hate that VSync doesn't get to where I want, because I'm not getting enough performance to do so. So there's some tiny spikes because I'm using VSync. Why textures on original? Because they look almost the same and give you some extra performance boost. From original to high, you lose some frames, but at the same time, they look almost the same. So no need to turn them on, honestly. Okay, and this makes the game look, in my opinion, better than a 1440p image. Has very good graphics over the PS4 version. There's no shimmering whatsoever. Everything is super sharp. And you get 50 to 60 frames. I don't know, DLSS in this game looks incredible. 1650 Super 1, I already did it. I already did all my GPUs, this is the last one. Yeah, no, this is not going to cut it. I need to do original. This is not going to cut it now. What a shame. Let's keep it an original then. Yeah, that did the job. So if you want to play like this, put it on original. So I removed my previous comment. I wouldn't play it like this. I would play it on 1440p. Probably. I don't know. It depends on my mood. So yeah, original still looks okay. So you can do, again, pretty decent numbers. Let's just load into the fight. Defeat the stranger. So yeah. 6 FPS cap, Riva tuner, plus VSync from the game, plus DLSS performance, plus 4K original settings. 4K original settings. So yeah, if you want you can do that. Or you can do the traditional methods of 1440p or 1080p. But honestly, 1440p with DLSS on, I think is the best balance. While this looks super sharp. Yeah. Yeah, I cannot believe it either, no Atata. That's incredible, right? Yeah, I am trying. 120 FPS? No, I already tried it. It was impossible. We were CPU limited. Anyway. So I'll show you again what I was using before, because I changed my mind. I changed my mind because I saw the difference. So shadows on original, textures on original, and then on display we're doing quality DLSS at 1440p. So yeah, you guys were right. This looks better. So 960p, 1440p high. With shadows on original. Shadows normal. And that's it. Those are the settings, I think. We'll see. But that looks pretty good. The best way is 1080p Ultra plus high shadows. Are you sure about that? 1080p doesn't look great. After playing this with DLSS, 1080p doesn't look that great, man. I don't know. Okay, this is fine. This is the best settings, definitely. Yeah. No doubt about it now. Yeah. I'll get some drops when effects show up, but this is fine. Yeah, this is 960p, but again, this is DLSS, so I guess the pixel count is not the full story. You got the DLSS performance on the little area at the bottom, not quality. Oh, my bad. Yeah, it's quality. My bad. This is quality. Thank you. So let's beat this guy, finally. Again, graphics, like you see them here. So yeah, if you want lock 60s, this is the way to go. If you have a FreeSync or G-Sync display, any of them, this should be amazing for you. Because you won't have any tearing and you don't need to lock the frame rate, so yeah. Anyway. So that's all I had to test, really. I'm super impressed. DLSS is better than I anticipated. I mean, guys, remember this, the last time I tried DLSS, it was on Metro Exodus. I never tried DLSS 2.0 in real life. I only tried DLSS 1.0. Then I sold the 2060 because I needed to buy other GPUs and build the studio. But now that I got another full-time job, I'm able to afford it. Man, DLSS 2.0 is a huge difference. I'm mind blown right now. I cannot believe what I'm seeing, really. I mean, when I tried DLSS, it was garbage. I remember in Metro Exodus, it was like looking at a watercolor painting or something. Now it's on this one, it looks so much better. River Runner. Oh yeah, River Runner. My bad. Private Center. There you go. Thank you. Cardos to the stranger, that does it. And that does it. You're going to Brazil. Yeah, just next to me, actually. I'm in Uruguay. We're right next to Brazil. So yeah, sure. Bring him over. Will you get a 3050? If I can afford it, we're going for it. But we'll see. If it's too expensive, well, then it doesn't make sense. But I want to compare it against the 2060 because the 3050 will have 8 GB of RAM, of VRAM, sorry. So at least to me, it makes complete sense to compare the 3050 against the 2060 because again, more VRAM on the 3050. We'll see how performance goes on that one. DLAA is better than DLSS, which is better than XEASS, which is better than DLDSR, which is better than FSR, which is better than NIS. Holy hell, what did I just read? That's so many acronyms. Hey, Ironfall, how's it going, man? Long time no see. Does DLSS look like native? I don't have a way to explain it exactly, but it does look pretty good. It looks almost the same. It has some things look better and some things look worse. Foliage looks better, not sure how. It gets rid of shimmering on foliage, at least for me, in this game. But then in some other parts you can notice a little bit more softness to the image in the textures, specifically, like Kratos' armor. But overall, it looks so similar to native that I'd rather use DLSS, because there's no shimmering whatsoever. It's kinda weird. I don't understand how they do it. What do you force 4K resolution? What do you mean? Soy de Uruguay, Victor. Saludos. Oh, happy that you're fine as well, man. Yeah, I'm fine too. I'm tired. I woke up 6 AM and it's now... No, sorry, I woke up at 5 AM and it's now almost 8 PM. Ugh, I'm tired. And yeah, since I started working, I did 8 hours of work and then I came to 2 live streams. So I'm on fire today. But hey, God of War released on PC, what can I do? Did you know that the Steam Deck has RT capabilities technically? Yeah, it's RDNA 2, I'm guessing, so... Yeah, but it doesn't make sense to use them, in my opinion. I would like to go there. Well, enjoy. I don't like Brazil, personally. Too hot. Although in my country it's almost as hot, so yeah. I don't know. Kinda scares me, for some reason.
I just needed answers, but you had to act on.
I'm going to drink water in the meantime while Kratos fights.
Whatever you have
Come on, Kratos, you got this.
coming. That old body will give out. But before I end this, I will
Ah, sí, Ricardo, exacto. Eso sirve, sí, se puede hacer. Y lo recomiendo. Funciona muy bien.
any of this.
Yeah, guys, to some people I was saying you can force 4K with DSR. Yeah, with DSR. On a 1080p monitor, and then on 4K you can put performance mode on DLSS. And that should give you a 1080p image upscale to 4K using DLSS, but you're on a 1080p screen, so it'll be super sharp all over the place. And you'll get 60 frames with original settings.
This fight is pointless.
Yeah, also,
Struggle is pointless.
it wouldn't make sense to use ray tracing, but I'm 100% sure you're going to try it on the Steam Deck. Hell yeah. If I get a Steam Deck, you bet your butt I'm going to do it. Just because science.
You can't
You're getting screen tearing even though I put VSync on the video control panel for the Opera browser? What do you mean?
feel every
I'm the one getting VSync. No, sorry, I'm the one getting tearing, I think.
my brother.
Ever tried Firefox? That fixed it for me.
Wouldn't have ended this way.
I don't know, just try another browser, maybe. Who knows?
Let's
Or maybe you're just watching at too high of a resolution. My stream is at 1440p, so maybe that's why. Try 1080p. Although when those effects show up, as you can see, there are some frames and spikes. That's VSync doing its job, unfortunately. So, personally, what I would do, again, personal preference, since I have a FreeSync display, I would unlock the frame rate. So you don't have a frame rate cap. You are free to experience whatever you got on the screen. You'll get tearing, of course, if you don't have a FreeSync display. That's why you'll see tearing. But you won't get those drops below 60. So that's kind of the point. Sorry guys. Do not share any links, please. I don't want to get in trouble. If you do, I'll have to ban you from the chat, sorry. But yeah, I know, the game is cracked. You'll find it, eventually it will be everywhere, so don't worry. Eventually it will be easy to find. But if you enjoy games like this, please guys, consider buying them on Steam. Or whatever you want to buy them. Because we need more PlayStation games on PC. We need Ghost of Tsushima, we need, well, The Last of Us 1 and 2, Uncharted 1, 2 and 3, because they only announced Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy. And I want more games, more PlayStation games on PC, so if they see that they are making a lot of money, there's more likeness that this is going to happen, so keep that in mind. That's just my cup of, my 2 cents. Yeah, exactly, Dark Master. What Dark Master is saying, if you're going to pirate, do it quietly. Do not announce it. Be stealthy. But if you enjoy games like this, please buy them. It'll make more games like this come to the PC, which we all would love. And I will make more videos, so that's an advantage. I feel nothing. It feels, yeah, I remember those words. Ok. No, la 750 Ti no funcionó. No, lamentablemente no. Bueno, Guillermo, tranqui. No worries about that. More than 200 million of gamers in the USA don't buy more than enough copies. Well, still. I think it's worth buying, personally. It's a great game. And they made a great job with the PC board. I mean, yeah. Okay, Jim76UH, enjoy, man. Let's kill him. Dead. reduce to atoms. Oh, one thing I want to try. I forgot to try it. I want to try ultra-wide. Let's try ultra-wide. I have a big screen, so 2560 by 1080. I can make that custom resolution. Hell yeah. Why are you not reading my comments? Because I'm not reading everything. 1650 Ti, Ryzen 5 4600H. How many FPS? You should be able to do 1080p original settings at 50 to 60, I'm guessing, if the RAM is a dual channel. But I would use FSR on ultra quality, and that should be good to go. Okay, let's disable this first of all. And let's create the custom resolution. So we can do ultra wide, 2560 by 1080. I want to give that a shot. I want to see how this looks on ultra wide. Oh, one sec. Did I check that box? Yeah. Okay, hang on. I was able to do this before. What happened? 59 hertz maybe? Yeah, no. Okay. Back then I was able to do it. Not sure why I cannot do it anymore. Oh, I didn't apply the settings. Ooh, my bad. How's job training going? It's going fine. Very tough, but it's working. It's doing its job. It's teaching me stuff. My brain is getting destroyed. There we go. Now it works. It was just a bug. So, as I was saying, ultra wide, 2560 by 1080. Let's see how it looks on that resolution. That's super interesting because this game announces, okay, wow, even the menus. Okay, we're trying now ultra wide. Testing ultra wide, 2560 by 1080. So this is 21 by 9, and we're doing high settings, native resolution. Yeah, that should do. So options. I mean, see this, guys, this is what I mean by a good PC port. There's so many options. You know what, I'll keep it on quality DLSS. DLSS quality, because DLSS looks good, actually. So it's 720p, but that's fine. It doesn't look like 720p, trust me. So high settings, yeah, let's put it on high. Even the textures, why not? Let's waste memory. So ultra wide. Let's see how the game looks. Oh, and I forgot to fix the FPS counter. My bad. There we go. Come on, FPS counter. I need you in the scene with me, dancing. There you are. Okay. So again, I know ultra wide is kind of a niche in the PC gaming market. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm seeing that there's slightly very tiny bars at the left and right. Not sure if that's a thing with the game or that's because I didn't close the game. That's probably the latter. Yeah, let's force the aspect ratio we need. I'm going to put it on 21 by 9. There we go, 21 by 9. Yeah, okay. So if you guys like it and you have an ultra wide display, this is what you're going to get.
Who was he? He knew me.
So yeah, the game is, even on the cutscenes, you get ultra wide. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of rare, that said.
After all this time.
So yeah, that's why I'm saying that it's worth buying. Just for the fact that it has so many options. It has DLSS, it has FSR, it has ultra wide, it has, you can even select the aspect ratio manually. That's rare nowadays. It shouldn't be rare, but it is. And performance is good, considering the visuals. I'm pretty impressed. Remember, if you have an ultra-wide display, the black bars you see in my live stream wouldn't be there. That would be the entire screen, so yeah. What job did you get? I got a job as an IT infrastructure person. I basically going to edit some articles that the service desk reads, and that's as much as I can say. I cannot say more.
but we cannot stay here.
Yeah, ultrawide looks good, but in a native ultrawide display. I'm watching on a 4K screen with black bars on the top and bottom of the screen. So yeah, you see more, your FOV is expanded, but at the same time, you miss the extra space of the screen in this case, because I'm forcing this. Let's do that again. As I was saying before I go, there we go. See that the ultrawide allows us to have a wider FOV. Yeah, I'm not sure why we have those black bars at the size of the screen. That's maybe because I didn't restart the game after changing to ultrawide. But I mean, yeah, if you like this, if you have an ultrawide display, well, you're going to get an expanded FOV. That's the improvement that ultrawide brings in this game. Yeah, Dark Master, it does. 8 GB de RAM no, yo diría que no. Capaz que para el mínimo sí, pero el juego en sí usa más de 8. I mean, even the menus and the UI is on ultrawide as well. Let me double check that super quick. I'm blown away. I cannot believe this. I'm playing a PlayStation game on a PC. I'm going to connect the Xbox controller to make it even more hilarious. So, how PC gamer are you? Oh well, I play a PlayStation game, God of War, on PC with an Xbox controller and DLSS. What do you do? Yeah, this is the most PC gamer thing ever, I think. Playing a PlayStation game on ultrawide with an Xbox controller on Steam. That's exactly. What's your mood today? Today I'm a PC gamer. Okay, I'm seeing that it has black bars at the right and the left on the screen. Maybe because I'm forcing ultrawide, I don't know. Is it possible 1650 super ultrawide? Yeah, sure. Just play on original with FSR on ultra quality and you're good to go. You should be getting 60 frames on the 1650 super. But look at this, I have Xbox prompts. Look at the left, right there. It says Y. See that? We have Xbox prompts. Crazy, right? And if you connect a PlayStation 4 controller, you get PS4 prompts. So, neat detail. A lot of games need that. Press B to climb. B to climb in a PlayStation game. Oh my god, I'm so blown away. Press B to pick up. Gladly, I'll press B. Although in this menu it says R3. That's a photo though. It says press A to continue. Let's see. R3, yeah. It still says R3. They missed that button. Press B to pick it up. Press the left bumper to shield. Oh yeah, this is so much better with a controller. At least for the fighting parts, like this. Throwing the axe is better with the mouse and keyboard. But the fighting itself, yeah, this is clearly meant with a controller in mind. Holy hell. Anyway, that's enough. I think I saw everything that I needed. Again, the most PC gamer thing to do today was to play God of War on PC with an Xbox controller showing Xbox prompts on ultrawide. Because why not? So thank you so much guys for watching this live stream. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, digging around how the game works and DLSS and all the good stuff. And well, since I got a new full-time job, I will do these live streams very rarely. This was a special case because of God of War, so yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed all the content and all the games that are coming. When they like 2 launches, I'll also be doing a live stream, not on the same day probably, but I'll be in touch. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see ya next time. Bye guys. Thanks for watching. Love you all. See ya. Sorry, Hiro. I'm already taken. But I can still afford GPUs. Bye, guys.